Hey Clashers, there is a new epic equipment for the minion prince in the game, and that is going to be the Meteor staff. This equipment is going to spawn a meteor, going to hit the closest defense with damage up to 850. We're going to discuss the best use cases for this new equipment, the same as discussing if you should put any ores into the equipment and is it any good. As well as always, I recommend to you using the Mighty Morsel to see if you should put any ores into another equipment, because with this magic snack, you can max out your equipments, and if you use for any challenges, you have endless attacks to test your attacks with max equipments and see if it works for you and your specific attack strategy. And as well, if you want to buy the event pass, for example, to upgrade your ores or any other offer from the in-game shop, make sure that you're supporting your favorite content creator out there. And if you want to support me, make sure that you're using creator code iTzu. As always, I appreciate that. As well, a quick reminder before we're starting with the best use cases. Yesterday, Supercell announced their statement pretty much regarding the exploit for the ore bug we had at the beginning of the update in the game, because you could actually steal ores from other players with revenge attacks. Those ores now have been taken back from Supercell, and if you were one of those players who actually exploited this bug, I guess you were lucky enough that you did not catch a ban, because, well, that is in the terms of service that you're not allowed to do so. But I guess Supercell was nice enough to not ban all of those players, but instead they just reverted the ores. And this means some players who actively took advantage of the bug have now a lot of minus ores, which I guess is just fair. I know that there is a workaround right now, but that's obviously going to be fixed. So everyone is going to keep their minus ores if you have taken advantage of that exploit. But let's start things off with the first use case of the new equipment. I have always tried to combine the Meteor staff with the Dark Orb. A lot of you yesterday told me in the comments that I should try to go for a full damage minion prince, and that is with the Dark Crown and as well with the Meteor staff. This obviously is a really expensive one when it comes down to ores because it's using two epic equipments, but to be honest, I've tested it and it's quite insane because your minion prince is turning into a complete machine, and if you can keep him alive, he is going to take down the entire base behind those dragons. It's quite insane. So overall, you're playing this strategy pretty much exactly the same as you would play any Royal Champion charge with the Dragon attack as before. Just go with the Royal Champion charge for anything which can threaten your Dragon attack, which are like Poison Towers, which are obviously like air defenses, Fire Spitters, the Town Hall itself, and so on. As well, I will use now as well the Legend mode for this attack, because the interactions otherwise, everything is pretty much the same because we are using maxed equipment. There are no equipment caps whatsoever, but I really want to show to you how strong this actually is. So I do not want to show those attacks in normal mode because I feel like in normal mode, everything can 3-star. But in Legend, it's quite a challenge, and this is why I feel like it's better representing the actual strength of an equipment combination than anything else. So that's why we're going to use the Legend mode for all of those different use case examples, for you to actually see that those combinations are really solid. But for us right now, we have taken down the Town Hall. Unfortunately though, the Royal Champion now is going to be stuck on the Ice Golems, so we're not going to get any more value. But hey, we still got okay value, so that is good to go. We now need to have the Minion Prince to carry us to really get all the way. Minion Prince is with the Dragons, while on the other side we have the Siege Barracks with the Archer Queen. The Minion Prince now is going to slowly stack up with the Dark Crown, and on top of that we have the non-stop meteors raining down. But as well, really important is that the Meteor staff on its own already is giving 128 bonus CPS to the auto attacks for the Minion Prince just on its own. And then if you stack up the crown, you're going to get even 30% on top of that again for the bonus stats. So overall, it's synergizing really well. If we are now progressing faster and faster and further through the base, you will see how slowly but surely this Minion Prince is turning into a complete nightmare for the base. A really big recommendation though from my side, something which I've not done well in this attack, is you should try to save one invis at least for your Minion Prince, because the downside of using the double epic, the double passive ability is that you do not have an active ability whatsoever. If I would tap the Minion Prince ability right now, I would just restore, like just get back a couple of hit points, and that's it. No active ability otherwise. Which means if the Minion Prince now gets targeted by something, he's going to go down. There is no protection for him. This is why it's really important, because that is a win condition for the later stages of the attack, that you have possible save an invisibility spell. Because right now you can see he is two-shotting air defenses. That's kind of crazy. As well, by the way, you have seen another issue though for the Meteor staff on the other side, which is it can take down a defense at the same time as your Minion Prince is going to take it out. That's what happened now, I think 2 to 3 times during this attack, which is obviously going to lower the overall value, but still, with the double DPS build, you can do quite some damage for this minion prince, and it's for sure, for everyone who has the ores to upgrade that, you can for sure go for it. Another option which you can go for is, for example, with the Warden Charge Rocket Loon, to use the minion prince on the back end with this new equipment. Because so far you had the option of using maybe the crown or something, but that really takes time to stack up with the 30%. And on the back end of a Royal Champion, of a Warden Charge with the Rocket Loons, you don't really get those overall stacks to get the full 30% of that equipment. So instead, you need really good damage right away. And that is something which the Meteor staff can provide. So that's why we're going to combine it with the metal pants to have some stealth protection as well, so that minion prince can take quite a bit on the back end. Another game changer, by the way, as well for the Rocket Loon strategy are the Barchers. I already told you in yesterday's video that this is going to be the strongest event troop of this current event, especially for Rocket Loon attacks. Because if you take a look at the housing space you can save, it's kind of scary. Because normally you need like, okay, 2 Rocket Loons or something for an Archer Tower on the outside, 2 Rocket Loons and a Minions, or even 3 Rocket Loons for a Wizard Tower on the outside. Well, now you need just 2 Barchers for an Archer Tower, which is a downgrade from 16 housing space to Rocket Loons to 6 housing space. Taking down a Wizard Tower is 18 to overall 24 housing space, now down to 9 housing space. As long as something, a defense and something to snipe is far on the outside, those Barchers are doing an insane job of sniping those defenses and making your life for the Rocket Loons then way easier so you can save them. So always have that in mind if you're playing the Warden Charge Rocket Loons or any other strategy out there, because you can always use the Barchers to snipe some outside buildings with any strategy. That can be the Warden Charge, that can be the Royal Champion Charge with the Dragon Switch we have just played. We could have used some Barchers over there as well. Or for example with the Root Riders, just create some nice funneling and such. But back to this attack. We now have the Fireball set into the core. Not the craziest value, not the worst value, just overall some nice taking down the Clan Castle. I will use some Rocket Loons to lure the Warden over towards the Town Hall so we can take that out. Then we have the King and Queen from the bottom side. And now finally we're getting to the Minion Prince part, or at least slowly approaching that time. Because as my King and Queen are taking down the bottom side, we can get ready slowly but surely with the approach then for the Minion Prince from the far left side. We're waiting a little bit for the heroes to get into that direction. We can use a test loon and then the Minion Prince is in. The downside of this is it needs some protection with like test loons and so on. But if you have them left over, you are really good to go. Archer Queen is going in with the Giant. We have the Minion Prince on the back end. Another thing as well, do not use the metal pants too late. That is something which I've learned as well during the testing. Do not use it too late, otherwise that can be problematic. Another reason why the Dark Orb sometimes can be overall not as valuable maybe is because if the Minion Prince never really looks into the right direction where you want to fire that Dark Orb, that equipment can be kind of coin flip. It can win you attacks, but it can lose you attacks on the other side as well with being completely useless. As well, with this specific attack, sometimes you do want to save the Metal Pants ability, but with the Dark Orb, you just have to use it as soon as the Minion Prince lines up, because later on, you might just hit some outside defenses and then it's somewhat wasted. So that is like the downside for the Dark Orb, not just in this strategy, but as well for the dragons, while I think the Dark Orb, yes, can be replaced sometimes. So let's summarize everything. If you want to go full damage and have the ores for the upgrades for the equipment, then the 2 double epic equipments on the Minion Prince can be actually really strong with your mass dragon attacks. If you're playing a Royal Champion, if you're playing a Warden Charge with the Rocket Loons, then you can use the Metal Pants and as well the Meteor Staff on your Minion Prince for the back end. That works as well. I would not say it's a game changer, but it's as well for sure usable. While on the other side with the dragons, with the double epic, I would say that's actually an overall upgrade. But that's overall my take on this. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching the video, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.